Okay, so if you'll allow me, I'm going to talk, unless you're exhausted, I'm going to talk 15, 20 minutes. Is that okay? It's okay? I'm going to talk 15, 20 minutes for some things, just some pointers. I don't have all the answers. It's going to take a collective effort. Things we need to do to start addressing the problem of massive homegrown alienation from the West. And these are suggestions. First of all, of course, I mentioned the importance of scholarship that is conversant not just with traditional Islamic sources, but also with the vast amount of Western scholarship that is coming out. We need young people that are superior in that kind of work. And it's happening. We're starting to get it. We need more. We need to make our voices heard. And we need, and it, not to go in there with a chip on your shoulder or anything. Just become good scholars. But, awesome. I wanted to mention a proposition that I think we can discuss in a moment. And I think you'll agree with me basically, generally on this. It's like a meta-theorem. It's not always true, but it's most often true. And the theorem is this: the greater the number of practices and beliefs that we insist are essential to Islam, that we identify with Islam. This is Islam. Islam requires this. And you hear it all the time. Even though there might be very vigorous debate among the scholars right now in the Muslim community about a particular thing, you'll hear whoever happens to take this position or that position say, this is Islam. Even though they never really read, even though they haven't studied this in an objective, thorough, scholarly manner, they promote it as Islam. But what I'm trying to say is the greater number of practices and beliefs that we claim, or we insist, are demanded by Islam, the fewer will be the number of people who will consider Islam as a religious option. This goes for children growing up here, recent converts, potential converts, non-Muslims who encounter the community. Are you following me? Let me give you a quick example. When I first became a Muslim in 1982, you may agree with some of what I'm saying, you may disagree with some of it. Just to give you an example. The first few weeks, first few months I was a Muslim, it seemed like every Muslim I met was only too eager to share with me something he or she felt was, leave out the she, he felt was demanded by the religion, even though it was probably tenuously linked to it. There was no direct or powerful or overriding evidence, or it wasn't like there was unanimity among the scholars, past and present. For example, I was told, some of this, it was 1982, our community has grown up a little, so some of this is going to seem maybe a little funny, but I was told that I must wear Middle Eastern clothing. I was told that's sunnah, and you have to wear Middle Eastern clothing if you want to be a good Muslim. I was told that I could never listen to any music of any kind. I was told that I must make all my supplications in Arabic. I remember saying to them, what, does God not understand English? I was told that I must not whistle, that I must not use utensils when I eat, but I have to eat with my right hand, cannot have a television, cannot wear a tie because it looks like a cross, must overthrow the American government when the first opportunity arrives. Actually, that one's probably okay. Now look, I'll never get back in the country. Probably send me to Syria. The women cannot leave their house without their husband's permission. There were a whole ton of women ones. Women can't vote, women can't work outside the home. Islam says that women can't drive. I was told that Islam forbids democracy, that Islam demands that I change my name to an Arabic one, even though Bilal and Salman al-Farsi are esteemed non-Arab Muslims with non-Arabic names. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, never complained about that. That targeting civilians is permissible in jihad, and so forth and so on and on and on and on. And if I hadn't read the Quran before becoming a Muslim and go through that amazing experience, I would have left religion just from the utter confusion of it all. All this and much, much more was told to me is demanded by Islam. And the Quran warns us about that. It says, have you considered what provisions God has sent down? I'm roughly translating in English. And how you made some of it haram and some of it halal? You made it haram and halal. In the Quran, the burden of proof is on the person who makes it haram, because everything is halal without divine evidence, according to the Quran. But, time and time again, brothers say, that's haram, that's haram, that's haram. Young people email me. So many things are haram in this religion. Is anything halal? And then the verse says, has God indeed permitted you to do this, or do you invent a lie concerning Allah? In the Quran, inventing a lie concerning Allah is a big deal. When the Quran speaks about shirk, it doesn't just mean associating other beings as partners with God. If you read those, I looked up every instance of the use of the word shirk or the verb sharaka in the Quran, and much of it is about people who associate their own whims or fancies with God. It's a major problem, because that's how you destroy religion. That's how you destroy religion, because it builds a barrier between the potential spiritual seeker and whatever truths you might be trying to share. So when I first was interested in Islam, when I was a graduate at Purdue, I was talking to my friend Muhammad, who was from the Middle East. He was also a graduate student in mathematics. I said to him, Muhammad, the issue of women, and we got talking about that in adultery, and finally he said to me, Jeff, you got to understand something. In Islam, it's bad for a man to commit adultery. But it's much, much worse for a woman to commit adultery. I said, is that way in Islam? He said, yes. And I told him, well, that shows you that a man or men invented your religion. And I just wasn't interested in talking about Islam anymore. But things changed later. After I met a Muslim woman, another graduate student. No, I didn't end up marrying her. Having a relationship with her. But she was very devout. She came to me for tutoring. We started to discuss the religion. And I started to reconsider, maybe taking a look at the Quran. And then later on, I actually did. But in any case, the Quran also says, and say not for any false thing your tongue puts forth. This is halal and this is haram. Be very careful. So that you do not invent a lie, so that you do invent a lie against God by doing that. And I have many other references of that form, but I don't want to exhaust you with it all. I'll just give you this example. We Muslims believe we have a message to share